Hey there, guys. How are you? It's been a long time. I've neglected you for a very long time, and I'm sorry. Please forgive my sins against humanity. But I do want to mention a few things before we dive into the brand new Q&A. It's been a while since I made a video on this channel. Like I said, I am sorry. Life's been very busy lately, a little bit hectic, and I've been procrastinating a lot while listening to German techno music and just staring into the distance. But yeah, with all that said, I have been trying to do this Q&A right here with my new Logitech web camera. I spent $100 on Logitech, you piece of shit web camera, because it always disconnects from my computer. And when I was trying to record it directly into YouTube, it kept, after like 5 minutes of talking, it just cut out. I didn't know it cut out. And I also tried to do a live stream. That's right. I promised you guys I would do live streams on YouTube. But here's what happened. YouTube took away that Google Hangout feature that was really simple to use. Remember how nice and easy that was? And Google said, you know what? That was so nice and easy. We're going to take that. We're going to wad it up and throw it in the fucking trash. Because here you guys go. Here's a new live streaming feature that just doesn't seem to want to work. And I can't make it work. I tried. And I'm not a technical genius. I felt like Skynet was watching me. The world was going to implode. And I needed a T-800 to protect me during the process of trying to figure out the live stream. So with all that said, this is here's the Q&A, and I'm reading questions from the last Q&A video, and I also asked people just recently, a few minutes ago, on Twitter to tweet me some questions. So we had some newer questions in the mix. So we'll get to those at the very end of the video. But yeah, let's just dive into your question, guys. And by the way, do you guys like my Batman hat? You know what I like to do? You know what I like to do? I can touch the ears right here and do that to the ears just for a few minutes, and it feels real good. All right, it's getting weird. All right, guys, so let's dive into your questions. And the first one is, oh, it kind of makes sense. You always say you're busy, but what are you doing? Uh, Here's what I'm doing. All right. The last month, the reason for the lack of videos here on this channel, John Flickster channel. Now, keep in mind, I've been pretty consistent on the Flick Pig channel, you know. But for the lack of videos on this channel, I've been very, very busy this month, you know. Right now, I do live alone. Me and my previous lady friend, we parted paths. Life does that sometimes. And so right now, you know, I have the house to myself. And you'd be surprised. This is like the first time I've ever really, truly lived alone. I've always lived with a girlfriend. And it's it's almost a weird therapeutic experience because I find myself just walking around my house naked throughout the day and just like eating cookies and it's pretty awesome. It's almost like the beginning to American Psycho. I use a non-alcoholic face rub because alcohol dries out your skin and makes you age. So yeah, that's the kind of shit happening right now. But you know, with all that said, in all seriousness, when you have a house all to yourself, you know, I'm 28 years old. I guess I'm kind of a irresponsible type person. But yeah, it's you know, you got to mow the grass. You know, you got to pull the weeds. You got to write out all the bills, make all the bill payments. Clean up, let your dog out, and sometimes you forget and you feel a little bit bad about it. So what you do to make up for it is you feed your dog some extra pizza, a little bit more table scraps, and then you're like, okay, we're friends again. And then you know I try to make YouTube videos as much as I can. And then you know I kind of met a new lady friend, and I've been putting a lot of time into that. So you know when you add it all up, it takes a lot of time and it takes a toll on you. And some days, you know, I do put a lot of thought into making new videos, and I'll sit there and I'll procrastinate about them. And you know, I'll write out a few ideas. I'll get ready to do it, and by the time all that happens, I'm like, fuck, I'm tired. So then I go to sleep because I have the motto. Here's my motto. I cannot make a YouTube video unless I'm feeling 110%. If I don't have that, I don't push record. So, and it's hard to keep that up all the time. That's what she said. All right. And you said there will be more live streams this summer, but the summer's almost over. Don't make promises you can't keep. I made a promise I thought I could keep, but YouTube fucked it up. I'm sorry for that. By the way, this will be a very violent and angry Q&A. I'm just kidding. But it'll be a very honest and blunt one. But hopefully it's enjoyable. And if you haven't already, please go grab your popcorn, something to drink, 3 ice cubes, no more, no less. Make it magical and mystical. And come on back. Right now, I have a Monster Energy drink that's been in my refrigerator for the last 2 months. But you know what? It was looking really good tonight, and I felt like I needed the boost. All right, John, who would you prefer to be? A villain, a vigilante, or a hero? I would prefer to probably be a vigilante, and here's why. Vigilantes, they get to bend the rules, you know, break the laws, but they do it to justify, well, the ends always justify the means in a vigilante's head. So, you know, if I got to break a few traffic laws to track down a killer, I'm going to do it, you know? So vigilantes, I just think are more badass. My favorite characters are vigilantes. I would consider Batman a vigilante. I would consider Punisher a vigilante. I would consider Wolverine a vigilante. Um, because heroes kind of have to abide by the rules, and they're a little bit boring, a little bit Boy Scoutish. But if I had to kind of associate with one hero, I guess I'd go with Captain America. And then as far as villains go, oh man, I'd probably go. I like the villain of Bane. I like that type of villain. All right. Also, okay. Hey John, having now seen and reviewed Terminator Genesis, how would you rank the Terminator movies? For me, I'd go 2, 1, 4, 5, and 3. All right. All right. So obviously, I'm going to go with Terminator 2 Judgment Day as the best Terminator movie, and here are a few reasons why. Best edited, best filmed, most intriguing story, best action sequences, by far the best action movie ever made, and you just can't top some of the things that they did in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I mean, just take any action sequence from that movie and compare it to any modern day action sequence. Terminator 2 Judgment Day will win. All right? You show me a better car chase than the one of John Connor being chased by the tow truck in the LA River and the Terminator's trying to catch up and save the day. Show me a better chase sequence than that in modern day filmmaking. You can't because nothing's as intense with practical effects. All right, so we'll go with Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the best. The original Terminator 2 would be right behind that. And then this might be an unpopular opinion, but Terminator Salvation, all right? You can say what you will about Terminator Salvation, but at least they sort of tried. At least they tried to take it serious without punny one-liners and bullshit like you got in Terminator 3 and Terminator Genesis shit. And Terminator Salvation, here's the worst thing about that movie. Sam Worthington, who shouldn't be an actor, which he's not really in movies anymore because they realized this guy can't fucking act, so they kind of removed him. He was kind of going off that Avatar hype he was living off of in the about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's why he got a whole bunch of roles at that time. But yeah, Terminator Salvation, Christian Bale brought it as John Connor. This is John Connor. If you can hear this, this is the resistance. Keep fighting. The machines are getting smarter every day. And you're like, fuck yeah, that's a good, like, that guy was motivational as John Connor. It's like, I want to go fight some robots now. Let's go do it, man. So yeah, I like Terminator Salvation overall. It has a lot of issues, quite a bit. But it had some good moments. Then in all honesty, it's Terminator Genesis and Terminator 3, and it's like, I'm not quite sure. And then you take Terminator Genesis, and you're like, Jai Courtney's in this movie, and it's, so I don't like Terminator Genesis. I just don't. I tried, and I didn't even hold it to that high of a standard. I went into that movie knowing it wasn't going to be that great. I knew it wasn't going to be, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but it wasn't even a good action movie. Like, it wasn't even a good mindless action movie because there's not one action sequence in Terminator Genesis that I even remember that was that well executed. So, all right, we just ranted there. Okay, the next question is my headphones hurt. I feel like my ears are bleeding. All right. Take the Batman into custody. I am the Batman. That scene from The Dark Knight gets me every time. What moments still get you even after watching the movie several times? You would never give the trigger to an ordinary citizen. That scene right there from The Dark Knight Rises. And the funny thing about that is I was actually driving, I think it was today or yesterday, I was in my car listening to the soundtrack from The Dark Knight Rises, or the score, and I was just sitting there saying that to myself, you would never get the trigger to an ordinary citizen. It made me laugh by myself quite hysterically at a red light. Yeah, that'd probably be one of them that always gave me little chills down my spine. The other one is, since we're on the Batman topic or theme topic right now, was at the very end of Batman Begins when Commissioner Gordon's like, I never said thank you. And Batman turns around and he says, and you'll never have to. Like that right there, that just tingles throughout your body. All right, the next question is, what is your favorite kind of pudding? Joe pudding cups and doogity-doos Ravens. That was my Bill Cosby impression. By the way, Bill Cosby, guy did some bad shit. Favorite kind of pudding? I don't know. I like vanilla flavors. I prefer vanilla over chocolate. That's just me. Hey John, any workout tips you have to offer? I'm 16 years old and want to be like you. First of all, you don't want to be like me. Do something with your life. And secondly, workout tips. You know, when you're 16, you're still growing, and the way your metabolism and everything works when you're 16 is going to completely change by the time you're 20. I assure you, and it could either change for the better or for the worse. But with that said, just eat right. You know, eat decent, eat protein, and work out, and you'll get shredded. And especially when you're younger, you know, you have a much higher metabolism than you do when you're older, and you'll get shredded, man. Just if I knew now what I knew when I was in high school, I can't imagine where I'd be at right now. So yeah, just start working out. And you know, people always ask me for workout advice. There's more than enough tutorial videos on YouTube telling you how to do certain lifts and what to do to get a certain type of muscle. Just go to YouTube. It'll be your best friend. Watch it. That's what I did. So, all right. Do you think Ben Affleck should direct a movie in the DC universe now that he is Batman? Actually, I think that rumor wasn't that a rumor a few weeks ago? But anyway, the funny thing about that is, I actually already made a video on that a year ago. Now it was a rumor then, and it kind of isn't confirmed now, or is it confirmed? I don't know. I don't think it's confirmed. But yeah, I definitely think Ben Affleck should direct a solo Batman movie, and I think that was I've said this since he was cast as Batman. I guarantee you that was in the contract for him to have the opportunity to direct his own solo Batman movie. Why would it not be in there? It's like, hey, Warner Brothers, they're taking an award-winning director, and they're going to make him Batman. Why would you not allow him to direct his own solo movie? It wouldn't make sense without it. So I think that's great. I think Ben Affleck's a really good director. I like Ben Affleck. He has like a likability, screen charisma about him. You know, say what you will about Daredevil, and I'll just say it's a piece of shit, but I like Ben Affleck because he was the bomb in Phantoms. But yeah, as far as Ben Affleck's style, I think his style compared to something like Zack Snyder is very different. Zack Snyder has this very polished, comic booky looking style, and Ben Affleck kind of has that more realistic kind of handheld camera style going on. You know, look at movies like The Town. And I think if he can find a blend between both those styles, you'll have an awesome Batman movie. And you know, but as far as Ben Affleck goes, yeah, I would hope it was something along the lines of kind of what he did with The Town, kind of a little bit edgy. But I also don't want him to make Batman into like The Dark Knight was. You know, I don't want an overly serious, realistic Batman. You know, let's keep with the model that we have, almost a superhuman Batman, like we're seeing in the Batman v Superman trailers, and let's add a little bit of grit to it. So. Yeah, I think Ben Affleck directing a solo Batman movie would be pretty badass. Where did the questions go? Okay, here we go. I have a question, John. What are your thoughts on Tom Holland as the new Spider-Man? Do you live alone or do you have a girlfriend? What's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Well, that was the three most random questions any human being could ever ask. But I liked all of them. That's the kind of shit I like. All right, so I don't remember the first. Oh yeah, Tom Holland as Spider-Man. You know, I'm glad they finally got a Spider-Man who looks like a teenager rather than a 30-year-old guy. That's always good. So that would make Spider-Man feel like the character of Spider-Man for the first time on screen. And I don't know much about the actor Tom Holland. I've just seen pictures of him, and he actually. I seen a picture of him that looked like me when I was 12 years old. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know much about the guy, but you know what? It can't be worse than what we already got with Amazing Spider-Man 2. So it can only go up from there. And I'm excited because Marvel now has their hands on it. So we might finally get that really good Amazing Spider-Man movie I think we all wanted to see for a very long time. And it won't look like a 30-year-old guy running around in a Spider-Man costume. So that's going to be really good. So can't wait to see it. And then as far as the continuation of the rest of that question, do you have a girlfriend? I do have someone I'm hanging out with now, so that's going well. We laugh a lot, and that's good. That's the key to life. Laughter. Laughter will solve all your problems. That's the Joker's motto too. He's also a deranged serial killer. So, but yeah, so yeah, and right now I do live alone, like I said, I think in the beginning of the video, and Yeah, it's I like it most days. I like it most days because I am a weirdo. You know, I just I feel like every day of my life is like the beginning of American Psycho. Now think of that movie in your head right now. I'm walking around naked in my house, just rubbing weird creams on my face and talking to myself. I don't use alcohol because alcohol dries out your skin. It makes you age. So yeah, things like that are happening right now. So and as far as my favorite Ninja Turtle goes, I like Raphael because he's kind of the badass, but we got to go with Michelangelo. A pizza. That's my Corey Feldman impression. All right, let's continue on here. John, are you trying to become a professional wrestler? Because I saw a Tough Enough video and I was wondering. Yeah, what he's talking about is WWE Tough Enough had a contest where you could submit like a 1 minute video, and they said preferably do it with your shirt off, so I did. And yeah, it was the audition for the Tough Enough TV show, and I did send the audition tape. Do I want to be a professional wrestler? I don't know. You know, I don't think it's easy by any means, but I would definitely like to go to the competition and see how it goes. You know, I think I could do well. The physicality part, I think I could do well, and I think the theatricality part, you know, cutting a promo, saying some witty one-liners, things like that, I think I could do decently at. And it was just something I'd like to try. And I do watch some of the clips from the current Tough Enough thing that's going on with WWE, and I'm just like, I could probably do a little bit better than that guy. So the only thing is, I submitted my video the day before the deadline, and I have a very very good feeling they already had the winners chosen long before that. So yeah. So yeah, I did, and maybe I'll try it again next year, but I'll submit it actually like 2 months before the deadline. All right, John, for a YouTuber who's starting a channel, what is your best advice to grow your audience like yours? You know, I've been doing YouTube since 2010, and over the years, you know, I've made a lot of changes. I changed things up. I changed the way I presented things, and it takes a while to come into your own. And it doesn't matter who you are, your videos at first are going to suck ass. They just are going to suck ass. And some of my videos still do suck ass. But you know what? The goal is to be entertaining, honest, and I try to be funny in all my videos. And if I don't feel like I can at least do those three things, then you guys don't ever see that video. You know, there's sometimes where I record a video, I go into editing, I look at it, I'm like, ah, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. That video wasn't there when my mother was on her hands and knees in the house without heat, puking up blood. Nah, that video was out somewhere getting drunk. So next time you want to tell your fucking war stories, why don't you go down to VFW? Because maybe they'll give a damn. I kind of was paraphrasing a Tom Hardy movie. Bonus points if you know which movie that's from. But yeah, I forgot the question. Too much caffeine. It'll melt your brain. Oh yeah, advice for your YouTube channel. It's late. It's 3:30 in the morning. You just gotta make videos. You gotta make videos that people want to watch, and then every once in a while, if you have a niche channel, like a niche thing that you're talking, if you're talking about movies, then it won't be that niche. But you know, every once in a while, you just gotta make a video with a popular topic. That way, you can gain the attention of people that give a shit about movies, and they'll find your videos. You know, if you continue making videos about the smallest, most niche thing of, you know, talking about foreign horror films that came out in 1982, and that's all you talk about, well, you're going to have a very small audience because it's not a big mass appealing topic. And I'm not saying you have to make the most popular topical videos every single time. I'm just saying every once in a while. But you know, most importantly, do what you like, talk about what you love, and just make good videos. You know, good lighting, good editing, HD footage, and have a personality. You know, I see sometimes on YouTube, I'll see people with like $10,000 invested in making their YouTube videos. They'll have the best editing software, the best computer, the best camera, the best lighting. And then you watch the video and it's just some guy that looks like an android that's broken just mumbling. And you're just like, why did you buy all that shit? So, uh, yeah, my best advice, just make videos, get good at it. And it's going to take a while. So don't expect overnight success. Like I said, I've been making videos since 2010. My main channel, which I probably haven't put up as many videos as I should have over the years. But you know, it's at 130,000 subs right now. That took nearly 4 or 5 years to do. So, and there's some channels that are around for a year or two and they have 2 million subscribers. So, it's kind of luck of the draw. And but you know what? I make the videos I want to make, and I feel like I have the audience that I want. You know, I could have more subscribers if I truly that was my goal. I think I could have more subscribers, but will they necessarily be the subscribers I want? That is the question you have to think about. Um, all right, so let's continue on here. Hey John, big fan. What's your favorite David Fincher film? Favorite Fincher film, I'd probably go with Fight Club. I know a lot of people would probably say Seven. I like Seven, but it's not my favorite one of his movies. You know, it's kind of hard to eat when you watch that movie. I'd say right behind that would be I like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I really like that movie. I feel like it's extremely underrated, and I know it's a remake of the Swedish films, but really good movie, especially if you've never seen the Swedish films and you don't know the twist. And I actually just watched the Social Network yesterday, and pretty good movie. And Gone Girl, I really enjoyed that movie, but going back for a second viewing, it's not as rewatchable as like say Fight Club, for example. So, all right, John, have you ever thought about going to the Arnold Classic? It's not that far away for you, being in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, I actually live in Indiana, and I did go to the Arnold Classic last March. I did go there. I did attend it. I was there 2 days. And you know what? I like working out. I really enjoy it. I like watching YouTube videos about working out. I like watching, fitness experts. I like watching bodybuilders. I like when they give advice. I really like that stuff. But to go to that expo that is way too crowded for its own good. I mean, they need to put a limit on the amount of tickets they sell for that thing because you walk in the doors of that thing, and maybe the first hour it's bearable, like you can move, but after that there is you are basically in an orgy with 20,000 people in this room, and you can't move. To walk 20 feet takes an hour, and everything that you're waiting in line to like everybody there's a line an hour and a half. And the sad thing is, people will wait 3 hours in line for a fucking free T-shirt that's too small to fit them. So it's just not worth it to me. So yeah, I probably would never go back. But yeah, I like the concept. And my biggest thing was I only went to the Arnold Classic because I wanted to see Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wanted to see the guy there. But every day we'd leave around like 1 or 2 o'clock. He would show up within a half hour after we left. And yeah, so that's the only reason I really went. And I love Arnold. I love him. All right, so let's jump over to some Twitter questions now. Let me go to Twitter. I didn't have anything set up. This was very unprepared and very unprofessional, and I'm sorry. But let me take a drink of my Monster energy drink. All right. Megazord or Voltron or neither, from Jake Baldino. Can I go with Optimus Prime? I don't know. I'm just gonna say neither. I was never a fan of neither. I wasn't cool enough to know enough about either of them. Is YouTube your only job? Currently, yeah. YouTube it does pay the bills for me. I do have one of my family members does have a company I work for every once in a while, but yeah, YouTube right now. I've been lucky enough to have a few sponsors here and there that help support my channel. So YouTube right now is pretty much what I've been doing. What's something like toy or collectible you wish you had in the Flick Cave that you don't have yet? Oh man, I want like a classic Batman realistic figurine. I want like the most realistic Adam West you've ever seen. And I've seen them, they exist. I want one of those, or maybe like the Michael Keaton Batman, or or when the new Batman v Superman comes out, that new incarnation of Batman taken right out of the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel. I'd like to see some kind of statuette like that. Something really badass. Maybe him in the armor plated batsuit crushing Superman's skull. Something along those lines. But yeah, I'd like a huge Batman type collectible. How do you feel about intermediate fasting and the vegan lifestyle? Hey man, if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. I'm not here to judge you. It's not like my grandpa. You're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, it doesn't matter. I still love you. All right. Yeah, I don't like intermediate fasting. I don't believe in starving yourself for any reason whatsoever. you can always eat. You can eat as much as you want as long as you don't eat shit. If you're eating pure, perfect food all day long, you can eat as much of it as you want. And as long as you're working out along the way. But yeah, that's your lifestyle. Go for it. I actually have some vegan cookies downstairs. They're delicious. Do a X-Men Days of Future Past Road Cut unboxing for your second channel, please. The thing about that Rogue cut is, first of all, I was never a fan of Rogue in any of those movies. I never really liked the actress who played her, nor do I want to see a longer cut with her included. I don't feel like it adds anything. I could just be talking about my ass right now, but I just don't care to watch Rogue. I'm glad they cut her out of the movie. It probably made it better. All right. Over the top, no question here. Just the greatness, that is all. Over the top. When it takes all, loser it takes the fall. Because I'm going over the top because of my son. Because I drive semi and I work out with an arm. My son's Mikey's little asshole. Over the top, great. Favorite Schwarzenegger movie? You got to go with Terminator 2 Judgment Day. After that, I'd probably go with True Lies because I think as far as showcasing the comedy of Arnold and the action element of Arnold, that movie, that's a perfect blend. And plus, James Cameron directed it, so everything else, True Lies. By the way, I want it on Blu-ray. Where the fuck are you, True Lies? And then, yeah, I was going to talk about Jingle All the Way, but the only thing I want to say is, I'm not the pervert. I just wanted a Turbo Man doll. I'm making that a T-shirt. All right. What's your favorite film of the year so far? Is it just me, or is 2015, or at least the summer of 2015, kind of a letdown? Kind of a letdown. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I had high hopes for a few movies, but it didn't quite pan out, did it? I would say probably Mad Max Fury Road. I would probably say that is the most enjoyable movie I've watched. That's the one I'm mostly. The way I judge a movie and how much I really liked it is after I see that movie, and then I sit around at home and I'm like, I can't wait to get that movie on Blu-ray and just watch it in the flick cave with some popcorn. And Mad Max is that movie right now in my head. So hopefully I do get Warner Brothers contacted me. I think they might send me an early review copy. So I'll make a video all about it. We might just do a movie night, Road Warrior style. Get ready, and I'm gonna wear assless chaps. Don't get scared now. Let me make sure this video is still recording. Okay, we're at 27 minutes. Fuck it. All right. I owe you guys this. This isn't the Q&A you need. This is the one you deserve. How excited are you to have Spider-Man in Civil War? You needed Spider-Man in Civil War. Now, essentially, here's what they're doing because I think all along they didn't quite know if they could get the rights to Spider-Man for Civil. Blah, blah, blah. Let's start over. I didn't think Marvel really knew all along that they could get the rights for Civil War. There's a lot of legal issues there. So what they did is Spider-Man will be in Civil War, but I think he's gonna have like 5 or 10 minutes at most of screen time. So I think what they did for Civil War is they took the character of Black Panther and they kind of made him the Spider-Man type character in between both sides of the argument. So, and I don't mind that. I think that'll be a really cool way to introduce Black Panther. Thoughts on Ant-Man? Yeah, you know what? I'll give you my quick thoughts on Ant-Man since I don't have time to do a review for it. I wish I did. I just didn't have time to do it this week, and I'm sorry. But as far as Ant-Man goes, it was kind of what I thought it would be. It was kind of like a nice, smaller Marvel movie. It was really easy to get through. It was a good popcorn movie. It didn't insult your intelligence. It wasn't, thought provoking, but it was just entertaining. And it was quality entertainment as far as a comic book action superhero movie goes. And I did like a lot of the aspects about showing Ant-Man being small. I thought they really did that in such a way that it was entertaining, but yet buyable to see him actually pull off some of the shit he did in the movie. The movie did have some issues. The villain of the movie was like a B-rate Lex Luthor that should be on soap opera TV. I thought that character could have been written a little bit better, maybe a better actor. And there was definitely a few other things that could have. It was a very standard movie, stylistically speaking. I thought it could have used a little more style at some points, but overall, really good movie. I'd probably give it a solid B or B plus. All right. Are you going to be on Screen Junkies movie fights at any point in time? I have been contacted to participate. I've had the offer made to me, and they're just like, "Hey, can you come out here?" And I'm just like, "Hey, I live in Indiana, And plane tickets cost money, and it's just I want to, and I do want to try to do it, and that's why I mentioned starting a Patreon a few months back, just to help maybe support that idea. But it's still in the works, and I will try to make it happen someday. I kind of want to aim for maybe this fall. Um, so we'll see. Uh, what is your favorite X-Men movie? I'd probably say X-Men Days of Future Past. Let's find some more questions. There's a lot of questions here on Twitter. Will you be making a top 20 favorite movies of all time video at some point? Remaking it. Yeah, I was gonna say I did originally make one of those, and a lot of my taste in movies have changed. That was like 4 years ago that I made that video, and I might remake my top 20 favorite films of all time at some point. Maybe my top 10. 20, like when I say 20, it just makes me tired. Like I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to sit there and talk about 20 movies I really love. How can I make that into a 15-minute video? I can't. My head would explode. All right. Your thoughts on Jason Todd in the Joker theory? I don't even want to talk. I actually almost made a dedicated. I might make a dedicated video to that, but I'm just gonna say this: from a storytelling standpoint, why would you make a convoluted mess like that? Why would you take the most iconic character and make him a wannabe as the arch nemesis as Batman to start off your whole new DC universe? How does that make any sense? Just make the Joker the fucking Joker. We don't need some weird, stupid twist behind it. Save that twist for something else. That's my thoughts on it. Who had the idea of body built in your head, if I may ask? I don't know what that means. Why? Who put the idea of like bodybuilding in my head, like lifting weights? I think that's what you're asking. I'm gonna go with that because if that's not the question, well then I just made up one for you. But yeah, I remember. Here's the story. Here's why I started working out. It was 2011, and I graduated high school in 2006. Didn't do anything physical for those 4 years. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 4 years. I'm not a mathematician. I make YouTube videos. And so, over that time, when you don't do anything, your body just dwindles. And for me, I don't get fat. I don't gain fat. I get skinny and small and start shrinking. I don't know why. It's like I have a weird case of polio. And so for 4 years, I didn't do anything physical. So I got really skinny, too skinny for my own good. And I remember my girlfriend at the time, we kind of broke up. And I remember sitting around for a few months, and I'm just like, I looked in the mirror one day. I was like, fuck this, man. I got to become a badass. I think I just watched Batman Begins. I don't know. But yeah, I started hitting the gym. And then once I started doing it, I seen results. I was like, I'm addicted. So I never stopped. And doing that was probably the best thing I've ever done. I'll say that. It's probably the best thing I've ever done because it is a very big motivation in life. It really drives me. It gives me something to do. And socially, because let's face it, I make YouTube videos. I'm kind of a hermit. I stay inside. I watch movies, do things on the internet all day. But going to the gym is like my social outlet. So that's where I've met women. That's where yeah, women. They're fun. So meeting them in the gym was a good thing. So yeah, that was a good thing. John, I need a job. Can I be your assistant? Not kidding. I do need some interns. I'll be honest with you. I need professional video editing skills. And how good do you give back rubs? It's just 2 men. I need my back rubbed every once in a while. But like I said, it's not a paying position, but you will learn, and there is room for improvement. And possibly down the road, it's not uncommon for me to make job offers to my interns. Okay? Uh, can you please do an impression of Matthew McConaughey? All right, all right, all right. Do you think we will be a standalone sequel for Man of Steel? What? I don't get it. What? I don't get that. Have you watched the movie Maniac 2012 with Elijah Wood? I have not seen that. Green Lantern Corps movie. It can portray individual characters with proper origins that Green Lantern deserves. Yeah, the whole thing, the whole concept behind the new Green Lantern movie was actually to have two Green Lanterns in the movie, almost like a think of it like a buddy cop movie or like two guys kicking ass together. And there was going to have Hal Jordan and John Stewart, those two incarnations of Green Lantern coming together in one movie. And I think that's a really good concept because now you can have that serious Green Lantern and then you have the comic relief Green Lantern, but now you can blend it and have them interact with each other. And I think that's a really cool concept that hasn't really been done. So I'd like to see that go down. How was your day, sir? My day was pretty good. How long is this Q&A? 35 minutes. It doesn't matter. You guys are getting a long Q&A. I'm going to answer all these questions on Twitter. Day was pretty good. It was a fruitful day, a fun-filled day, and went to the gym, answered some emails, making a Q&A right now. Might make a movie news video that you guys will see this weekend. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day so far. I'm getting a little tired, but that's what this is for. Let me take another drink. What equipment do you use? Right now I'm using my shitty Logitech video camera that seems to want to cut off every time I try to connect it to YouTube. So that's what I'm using now. But I like the picture quality, or at least I think I do. It's better than my old video camera I used to use for my old webcam. But as far as video cameras go, I actually have it right here. I have a Canon Vixia HF-G10. This is my little Rode video mic. Now this isn't typically the mic I use when I record all my videos. I have another Rode video mic, which is I think a better. It's the older version of this, but it's better because it just sounds better. And I actually put that on a tripod, and I have it closer to my mouth when I'm talking. But yeah, this is the video camera I use. I really like it. Not a fan of DSLRs. I don't like them. I just don't feel like they're made for what I want to do. They shut off after 20 minutes, and I just yeah, I don't like them. And in all honesty, they're made for taking pictures, not video. But a lot of people might disagree with that. All right, so that's what I use. Keep going down the questions here. Favorite actor working today? I don't know. Tom Hardy's one of them. I think Ben Affleck has had a resurgence in Hollywood. I have always been a fan of Ben Affleck. I like likable actors. They don't have to be the best actor ever. They just have to be likable with charisma. If you could have any fictional vehicle, which one would it be? Probably the DeLorean, because time traveling would be really kick-ass. When are you starting your Patreon account? I don't know. I have it ready to. I think it's ready to go. I just want to know I can dedicate the time it takes to do it because my Patreon account, some of the perks I give are going to be very time consuming, but if somebody supports me, I want to give you guys something back really awesome, you know? So I'm just kind of waiting to know for a fact I can dedicate the time to it. But when I do start it, I will definitely let you know. Silence of the Lambs or Shawshank Redemption? Shawshank Redemption, but I love Silence of the Lambs. That was fucking weird. Favorite Batsuit ever? You know, I loved the Batman Begins Batsuit, but seeing the Batman v Superman Batsuit, I'm kind of digging that one. I think that badass, muscular Batman on the juice Batsuit might be my favorite. I like buff Batman. What are you more excited for, Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad? Got to go with Batman v Superman, but Suicide Squad is right behind it. Thought on how terrible Marvel villains are. Yeah, Marvel villains. They're either one-dimensional or they try to make them too likable, and then they turn them into heroes. DC obviously has the better villains. So yeah, everyone likes Loki. I never got it. I never like Loki as a villain. I never thought that was great. As a character, he's okay, but as a villain, not very good. What's your favorite soundtrack? We got to go with Dark Knight Rises on that, man. The Bane theme? Oh, yeah. How do you save the Terminator franchise? You let the rights revert back to James Cameron, and you allow him to make a new Terminator movie. That is the only way it's going to save that thing. Or you stop trying to make cash-grabbing pieces of shit. Simple as that. What have you rewatched the most? All right, we're going to make that the last question for today because I'm about to give out. I'm about to go limp in my chair. So most rewatchable movies, and 100% honest answer, Batman Begins is probably one of the most watched movies I've ever watched. I've watched that movie I maybe 60, 70 times. At least 70 times since it's come out. At least 70 times. I don't know why. It always just puts me in my happy place. When I'm feeling a little bit down and I need a little bit of motivation, I watch Batman Begins. It takes me right back to where I need. You know, you gave up your footing for a kill stroke. Um, what else is there? I've watched The Dark Knight quite a few times. Um, I watched Back to the Future Part One probably too many times. Point Break is one of those movies I watch that movie every few months. It evens me out. Trying to think of a few other random movies I watch. Oh, this is weird. This is why I'm so weird. But like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I've watched that movie probably more times than anyone else on the planet, including Kevin Costner. Um, I don't know why. I like watching that movie. And Gladiator, I've watched too many times. The Shawshank Redemption is probably my second most watched movie of all time because that movie's always on TV. Every time it's on TV, I watch it. I probably put the Blu-ray in at least 2 times a year. So yeah, I go with that. And Batman Begins is the two most watched movies by me, and Point Break right behind that. And then probably Terminator 2: Judgment Day, because that's always on TV too. I'm one of those weirdos. Like whenever one of my favorite movies is on TV, I have to watch it. I have to watch it. And then what happens is I get so pissed off at the commercials, the next day I go watch the entire movie on Blu-ray so I can get the whole effect. All right, guys. So let's wrap up this Q&A here. A 41-minute Q&A, but you know what? You guys, that's the least I could do for you guys for not making enough videos on this channel for last month. So as usual, leave your thoughts, your opinions down below. Ask anything and everything you want to, and we'll answer in the next Q&A, which I promise won't take as long as this one did. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.